One of the biggest stock risers of the summer, top 30 overall recruit, Quinn Costello, out of Boston, 6'10 power forward, is down to six schools. Those six schools that he will be considering are Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, North Carolina, Purdue, and Texas. Minnesota, what are you doing here? How'd you sneak up in here like that? All right, I see you making the final six list for a top recruit. But Quinn Costello, like I stated, one of the fast risers of this summer. He's now up to number 28th overall player in this class. Had a really great NBA top 100 camp and is kind of just fed off of that as we got to this point. A native of Boston, he cut these schools from some of the schools he cut from his list include Villanova, Tennessee, Ohio State, Illinois, Notre Dame. He's 6'10, he's versatile, wing forward. I don't know, he probably thinks he's a three, but he's more of a four. I don't really know, but some of his versatility can let him play the three, I think. But as he goes to this final six list of schools, Dion, there have been some rumors that this is a Michigan State battle. I believe Quinn Costello will be one of the players that's on campus at Michigan State for the pretty big recruiting weekend for Michigan State. But also Dusty May and Michigan have been very much in on him. And he also has stated in the past too as well that he seems a little bit moved by like blue blood type offers. So you're seeing North Carolina on this list. I'm sure they factor into this. But Dion, I'll throw it to you. First, what do you take from his final six? And then maybe talk about Quinn Costello, his game, and maybe his fit to some of these schools.
I do want to say I did a video with JK on Costello. I believe while you guys were in New York for Bleacher. Um, I've already proclaimed he's going to Michigan State. So now I'm a little terrified by this list because I've already decided that that's where he's going. Because you don't go to grind week for no reason. I do love his game. I don't think he's grown in the last like 5 or 6 months, 2 inches. So I feel like he thought he was a three because he was a three at a point because he used to be 6'8", now he's 6'10. And now I think he's a stretch four. He's probably a tweener at the moment just because it hasn't clicked in his head that he's a stretch four yet. But when it's all said and done, I think he's a stretch four, and I do think he'd like be okay with it. Um, Minnesota's an interesting choice. Obviously, North Carolina, that blue blood aspect of it. Purdue, Michigan, Michigan State make the most sense to me. I think I think at one point Purdue probably made the most sense when he was a lower ranked recruit, could go develop, so on and so forth. Listen, before we started, you mentioned Quinn Costello is apparently big on academics. If there's one thing I've taken from Quinn Costello this summer, he's big on attention. And that's what Quinn Costello really likes is attention. And he loves that he's soaring through the rankings. I think the academic stuff's out. I think the development stuff's out. In Quinn Costello's mind, he's going to be on campus for 7 months and then he's going somewhere else. Whether that's correct or not is to be determined. But I think he's loving every aspect of this recruitment at the moment.
Oh, definitely. I think, and look, to his credit, like, he blows up and he's rising up the rankings like any kid would enjoy that process. And he even brought it up. I'm really honored to these big schools want me at this point that, all his hard work is paying off. Now, I did mention this offline with you. It has been said to be a Michigan State thing. Apparently, Quinn Costello and his family are very much big on academics. And look, I'll give it to Michigan on this one. As far as Michigan versus Michigan State academics, say what you want. Michigan does have a higher, like, at least in the minds of people who want to go to Michigan, a higher academic pedigree, right? And if that is a factor, I do think that, some would consider that Michigan kind of has the lead right now, which is interesting as well because G's not on this video, but out of the recruits that they're going for, like, he doesn't even really want Quinn Costello, but I think he's going to end up with him. But if you are Quinn Costello, you got to look at other things too. Like, you're going to Michigan. If the Danny, he probably sees himself in a Danny Wolf type role mold. If he does that, I say Dusty does Danny Wolf, which he already did. Danny Yaxel looks really good. I mean, that would probably be pretty enticing to Quinn Costello.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference if I'm in Quinn's circle that I would like to bring up to Quinn,
You and
both,
Quinn Circle would be special.
both those dudes developed without Dusty. So I think that's the portion of the Yaxel Danny Wolf aspect of things. It's not just Quinn. I think other recruits are getting too, and I'm not knocking Dan or Dusty's like development because I believe Florida Atlantic had like a really good player on every Final Four team. It felt like that played under Dusty. So clearly he can develop, but that specific position though, Danny developed at Yale. Yaxel has developed at where did he go to school? UCF.
UAB.
UAB. He developed at UAB, and then they went to Dusty when it was all said and done, and it's like kind of like get me to the next level. I'm not saying Danny or Dusty can't develop Quinn into that, but if I was Quinn, that's just something I would monitor a little bit, consider.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's a case. And I got to do this just because I can't help myself. Uh, Quinn Costello has the headshot in the face of somebody who goes to Michigan and is like ingrained in the rivalry who like Michigan State people don't like. Like Michigan State is between the two schools he chooses. He chooses Michigan because academics. And then like, he comes to the Breslin Center and we break his spirit. Like that would be the case. Or you can come to Michigan State and you could be my Joseph Jamal.
Respect,
I miss Joey Hauser.
respectfully, he looks like Jackson Kohler.
It is always I don't even know. It looks like he's trying to serve looks, which I
It,
respect too, because I'm a big serve look, you know what I'm saying? Like, face card.
he
Uh
looks like he looks dead on Jackson Kohler. Kohler just cut his hair a little bit.
please respect my Psycho C. I'm sorry, Psycho Zero on that one. Uh, so out of these schools though, Dion, obviously there's rumors, and this just it's just chatter, right? That Michigan it has a slight advantage in this one. I guess if you had to give me a ranking 1 to 3, one being the most likely schools that he goes to out of Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, North Carolina, Purdue, and Texas, how would you kind of what three would you put in what order?
I mean, I like I said, I said it. When was it? With JK a few weeks ago. I do not believe you go to grind week for no reason. That's always been my thought process on it. I mean, I wish they got Jackson in there for grind week, but I do not believe you go to grind week for no reason. I think once you get on campus with Grind Week, once you get around my guy Draymond, Jaren might be there. You never know when Redacted might get an invite, so on and so forth. Once you get around the guys, I think it's really hard to stare all these NBA dudes in the face and say, I don't want to be a part of them. And now they have another one in Jace as well, who's a recent NBA guy. Plus, you never give him credit, so I try to make sure I give him as much credit as possible on the channel. Max Christie should also get an invite to Grind Week, by the way. Legitimate NBA dude now. So I think I think once you get around all those dudes, the culture, the environment, Medlock's already there. Ethan Taylor is going to be on that visit too. I do not believe Ethan Taylor is going to Michigan State, but I just think everything that comes with what his visit's going to mean, too much to pass up on.
Yeah, Cormac was at the last grind week. All right. I wasn't happy about it. He was there. Also, like Rocket Watts was there. Oh my God. You know what? Make grind week great again is what I would say. But as this goes out, I do think that the visits will be important to your point. If Michigan State could have a big effect on him, um, maybe even pitch him. So because I feel like last thing I'm saying this, I feel like sometimes you can recruit kids and like pitch them to be like, oh, y'all are about to be the class. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like get Medlock, Taylor, Costello, and like you guys are these guys that just come in or get greedy, give me Jervis too, and you just got this 4-man class. It's like, hey, y'all got the keys, go.
You know what would be a great compliment to that class?
What?
Jackson Richardson. Go recruit Jackson,
Okay,
please.
and that'll do it. Shout out to Quinn Costello. Down to 6 schools. Be interested to see what he goes through, how he goes through this process. But we have updates here on the channel when those do occur.